Good morning, and I hope you've been well, and this is part 191 of the Pokemon Rejuvenation V13.5 Let's Play. Set mode, no items, so yeah. So before we get into today's side quest episode, being part 3 of Missing Children, I do want to give some info more so to new players or repeat players that may be stuck, lost, or confused on how to start the quest or to continue the quest, so if you already know what you are supposed to do with this quest, that's fine, and if you don't care to listen, that's also fine. Go to the comment section below, timestamp there, skip ahead, yeah. Now on to the info, just in case if there may be a few that would like a refresher on how to go about this quest and how to continue it. So, going to the very beginning of how you go about the quest. Once you arrive in Grand Dream City and go through a few story events, in the main, sorry, not the main, what is it called again? The central building. You can go into there and start up a few help center requests. The first one, of course, being classified information. The second one being missing children, sorry. There are 3 parts total to the quest. The first 2, you can pretty much, start within, your arrival of Grand Dream City and going through some of the story events. The third one can only be started once you get into Karma Files chapters, so do keep that in mind. I don't think you have to do it when Karma Files is completed. I think you can honestly get straight into it the moment you are in Karma Files, so if you rather wait till you finish the main story or just get it done and out of the way immediately, that is totally up to you, but regardless, it's unlocked when you get into Karma Files chapter. Anyways though, continuing on off of that, you pretty much, let's say you, let me start with this. If you've done part 1 and part 2, you pretty much just head to Crystalline Town, head to, Dylan's home here, and that's pretty much how you get into part 3. Now, once we complete part 3, it is still an ongoing side quest, so once we, again, complete this here, it will not be completed at that point. It will either be completed during V14, V15, or V16. I think V16 is their final version, but that's still years away. But I would safely guess that V14 or V15 at the latest is when it will be fully done and completed, but who knows what they are deciding and what they'll do with the quest here. But all I do know is it's still an ongoing quest. Now, going on to the Pokemon itself, there are a few difficult battles. I highly recommend, if you have not, get your Pokemon up to level 90s. There is no reason why they should be underleveled, that's just my opinion. And of course, I always gotta recommend EV training. It truly does make the difference with a lot of these more difficult battles. If you're just doing a more simple, normal, or easy mode playthrough with no challenge run, just make sure you have a lot of items because the battles can definitely get very tricky, so just a fair warning there. And then let me think if there's anything else. I gone through part 1 and part 2. You can pretty much continue that as the story goes. If you really are lost, I do have, again, a few videos of part 1 and part 2 somewhere on the playthrough. I don't remember the exact playthrough number, but it should have the title Missing Children if you just want to type it in on YouTube, but you'll be able to find it if you really need the help on that. And then, whatchamacallit, I went into the Pokemon levels, I went into about part 3. I think that's pretty much it, honestly. Oh, I guess, small side note, I did EV train all the legends and some of the event Pokemon that we got through the past few side quest episodes, so these are all good to go for V14 if I ever do decide to use them, so And of course, I rechanged the team yet again since I brought it up before. I've gotten a few comments of people telling me that I use the same thing, so I'm like, okay, after a little while, we'll just switch it up and do something new, so Now, of course, I don't know if this team will work in particular for some of the more difficult battles. I just wanted to switch up the team, that's all that pretty much is there for, so yeah. Okay, that's it. Onto the quest itself. Thank goodness you're back, Alon. I thought you disappeared forever too. What happened? Is Dylan back? I don't think either of these add or subtract points. I guess I can look real quick because I do have the thing pulled up. No, it doesn't, so it's neutral wherever you wish to go with this. Let's see. Let's go with the first one. What happened? It's been over a month and Dylan hasn't returned. I have a bone to pick with you. Oh hey, Odessa. Definitely been a while. Voice crack there. I would expect this deplorable behavior from Dylan, but not from you. How could you leave Anna all by herself in this house for over a month? Just where have you been? I've been the one taking care of her. No, it's okay, Odessa. I told you Alon wanders off all the time. That doesn't make it right. But we have to think about finding Dylan. I'm sure that man is just fine wherever he is, but we've already searched the entirety of Terrajuma. Perhaps he left a clue somewhere in this house to his whereabouts. Have you checked his room upstairs, sorry? I haven't been upstairs. Excuse me? You haven't checked upstairs? Dylan said it was off limits. I was respecting his rules. Dear Prince of the Sea, help me with this one. So here's what we do then. Let's check upstairs and look for clues. If Dylan left suddenly, there may be a clue as to why. Okay. Hey Maggie. Definitely been a while. Could you go check upstairs please? Dylan's rule and all of that. This rule about upstairs being off limits is suspicious. That man better not be pulling anything dubious or else I will kick him in the... I won't say that. In the what? Jingle Bell Rock. Do you just say the same thing? Yeah, you do. Okay. Also, apologies for being gone for a month. Now, that's actually kind of an interesting thing, because I feel like a lot of the story stuff that we did after we left the cooking competition, it had to have been well over a month. It had to have been. So I guess what it's probably doing is, like for like the main story, like the timeline, it's meant to be done like a month later, but everything else continues on after the whole part 3 thing. That would be my guess. If it's not that, I have no clue. But I cannot imagine that after the cooking competition and everything that happened afterwards was done in a month. I don't think that's actually true. I really don't. Anyways though, there seems to be a switch on the statue. Press it. Who wouldn't? Sounds like something shifted around downstairs. Cool. Now, I guess I will say this as well. It's been a while since I've gone through all of this, so please do keep that in mind. I think it's been well over a year, so if I get a little bit lost or sidetracked or anything like that, just bear with me and I'll, find where I need to go if I do get lost a little bit. What is this place? It's another link in the deeper confines of this building. It's meant to keep the royal family safe, or in Dylan's case, it's a training ground. I have one just like this underneath my home. Training ground. My family is of royalty, and Dylan's family was a long line of guards that protected the royal family. Dylan's grandfather must have brought him down here to train him, but from what I've heard, Dylan's grandfather was quite cruel. I cannot imagine what harsh regimens he went through while being in training. Did you find anything? I found a letter in here called My Confession, and there's a USB drive with the initial V on it. The letter's concerning, but it looks like you're far more fascinated with the USB. There's a device right here that we can use to browse its contents. If that is what you desire, that is. Yeah. I have a bad feeling about this. Hola. Whatever. If you're watching this, then that means you accepted my little gift, Dylan. But I know you. You're not going to watch this the moment I give it to you, and you're not going to give it to Anna like I instructed either, because you're a pathetic, slimy snake. And because I'm so confident in this, I'm going to tell you what's about to happen. A few hours after you receive this drive, I'm going to place a bounty on you and all of your pathetic friends. You're not going to know why, but you'll run and take this USB drive with you. Shortly after we let you escape, we're going to quietly tail you with the tracker I placed on your yacht just prior. You'll think that you've gotten away, but in reality, you're walking down the exact path we want you to. When you are alone, we'll strike, and I'll have you in my clutches. You better pray to God that you brought this message with you, or the rest of this plan falls through. To Anna and Alan, Ola, sorry. I think I worded that wrong. As you can tell, I don't really speak Spanish. Sorry. You may have noticed that Dylan has been missing for quite some time, and that's because I took him. Now you may be wondering where exactly I took that piece of crap. Well, I'll tell you. I dragged his butt down to the 3rd layer. Alon should know exactly where this is. At the rightmost part of the 3rd layer, there is a building that was previously shut. Here are my instructions. If you want to see Dylan again, then you are going to bring Anna down to that building down in the 3rd layer. More instructions will be provided once you reach the designated area. Don't bring anyone else, Alon and Anna only. For Dylan's sake, I hope you both aren't late. So Dylan has been in the clutches of some dubious person this entire time. How terrifying. Alon, V said that you knew where this 3rd layer is. Please take me there. I know it may be dangerous, but Dylan needs us, right? He was there for me when I needed him, and now it's my turn to return the favor. So please, child, this is obviously a trap. Do you not realize this? Of course I do, but even still, if this can save Dylan, I don't care. I don't see why you care about this man so much, but Alon, she seems set in her tracks. Perhaps it would be best to take her after all. If I could, I would also join and bring the prince down there to protect us, but alas, per V's request, I have been barred from joining you too. However, as Princess of Crystalline, I shall do everything in my power to assist if that should be something that's required of me. Miss Odessa, thank you. Alon, please tell me when you are ready to go to the 3rd layer. I am ready whenever, so please just let me know. Oh, okay, so I guess Odessa left then. I am kind of curious if she really says anything else about this whole thing. Let's see. Oh, I guess she's just gone. Okay. Well, it was nice to see her again. I do gotta say, it's honestly like a really cool quest that they decided to like add within the game. The whole, you know, Odessa thing and whatnot. Alon, are you ready to go to the 3rd layer? Let's go. Let's go. We're going to save Dylan. And I guess I don't need these anymore. Your eyes. When did you... Well, truth be told, I've had them back ever since I regained some of my memory back at PokeStar Studios. Turns out my eyes are just a projection on my face. When I got my memory back, I remembered how to make them function. Let's go save Dylan and Alon. Together. This place. What was that sudden feeling? I can't explain it, but I feel like I've been here before. But I don't really recognize it either. I'm so confused. Let's go, Alon. V said the rightmost building, right? I have another bad feeling about this. Nope, I guess you're gonna run off then. I don't think there's any battles down here. Well, except for the Lairon that are around here, but I probably should give these guys some citrus berries. Right, you have the Sharpedo Knight. However you call or pronounce it. Actually, hold up. Do I have a... I have to have a toxic orb. Yes, hold up. And then... Let me actually... I guess I forgot to do that before, sorry. I should have... Here we go. Nope. There we go. Now we should be good to go. The rightmost building. It can't be. I certainly remember this. There are so many of me. I don't understand. I know I'm not human, but I guess I never considered there would be more of me out there. But why here? Why are there so many of me stored down here? I have to find the answer. If I'm not mistaken, isn't this the one, like similar to like Alon, how originally we had white hair but now we have blue and purple hair? I think that's like the alternate, or maybe one of these. The white looks really cool though. I don't know. Anyways, I guess we'll get some answers here. So, you actually came. For a second there, I really thought that loser messed things up. But it looks like my confidence in myself really paid off once again. It pays to be so talented. As a reward for being so compliant, I'll show you something I think both of you would find very interesting. Roll the surveillance. Nano Drive, activate. Drive has been activated. What is your command? About face. Command complete. What is your next command? Reveal your drive by 54%. Command complete. What is your next command? Stay put. Aquatail. Critical damage. Data loss 3%, 12%, 22%, 32%, 43%. Data loss, data drive has been corrupted. You're coming with me. Dylan? I don't understand what that was. Dylan was the reason why you woke up with all of your data erased. He attacked a critical part of the core inside of your drive. And as a result, you lost most of your functions. But why? Why did Dylan do that to me? You'll have to go to the next location to find out. There is an isolated building across the bridge. The door there was previously closed, but I have opened it for you. Don't take long. I guess we'll get our answers. I wish I remembered a little bit more, but I really don't, honestly. Like, there's bits and pieces I do remember, but oh wait, wrong part. Sorry. But yeah, either way, it'll be a good refresher for me. I think over here, just in case if you are curious, there's a few Kabutops here, or sorry, Kabuto. So if you did want one, there are a few over there. I know I already captured one, but just in case if there's somebody that never really knew that and may be watching this video here, there you go. Okay. Oh. Let me just pause here. Alright, I'm back. Sorry for the pause there, wanted to just beat the Laron there. Oh. Okay, so not here. Maybe a little bit more. Oh, here we go. Dylan. Anna. Alon. Just leave me here. Oh, now you want to be selfless. Pathetic. V, let him go. I'll consider it, but first, I'm going to go through on why I brought you both here. I bet you want answers regarding the footage you saw. I won't beat around the bush. Dylan ran away from Crystalline Town with his girlfriend, Kailani, however you say that correctly. They took asylum in the underground and made a name for themselves. Dylan made a lot of money gambling with his Pokemon, but one day he went too far and gambled with the Dons. They found out he rigged the bets during his Coliseum matches, and as a result, they took his girlfriend Kalyani hostage. A normal person would give up here, but he then gambled her life again and lost, and Kalyani was killed by the Don's henchmen. It was then that I pulled him out of that spot and asked him to work with me. In exchange for my help, I guarantee that the Dons would pay for what they did to Kalyani. But eventually, he betrayed even me. Why? It's because I made a mistake. I offered to help a man who could not be helped. You know, well, let me read this here. Dylan went to Peony, and she foretold that his end would be a cruel one. So that's kind of an interesting dialogue piece there, but before I continue on, I do want to go into what V said, and it's honestly something that is insanely tragic to what happened to Dylan. However, he rigged the games. He clearly cheated, and he messed around with people that he should have not have messed around with. He got, unfortunately, the love of his life killed. It sucks. I feel for him, you know? But there also comes a point where it's like, you dug yourself in a hole that you cannot get out of. And what did you do? You kept digging further. As V says, and sorry, they say, I don't think they're a he or she. I don't know, actually. I'm curious, because I think the thing says it on the website. I want to make sure I get it right. Because I think I've gone back and forth, like, I don't know if it's a guy or girl or who they identify as. Non-binary. Okay, so I'll just say they to keep it simple. Sorry. Anyways, as they brought it up there, plain and simply, I cannot help somebody that cannot help themselves. I made a mistake thinking that saving him would bring me fruit. It didn't. I thought I could trust him. I held my end of the deal. I took care of the Dons for what they did. But what did Dylan do in return? Stabbed me in the back. So, that's that. I'm not saying, you know, V, well, I don't want to get into like V's character yet. I want to read some more before I get into that. But as tragic of a life that Dylan has had, with him growing up with a not so good, you know, family, it seems, with the intense training, I'm sure there was some abuse between both of them, because again, like, he got to a point that he, you know, punched him in the eye and made him go blind or something like that. He's had a rough childhood, and he's just had a bad hand of cards dealt to him in life. But there comes a point where, how do I want to word it, that you know and have to know what you're doing is wrong. Gambling your money away, and even going to the point that you would gamble her away to try to get her back and whatnot, when you already are so far deep in the hole. I know I'm wording this weird, but hopefully some kind of get the point. But it sucks, because like, Dylan, it's really 50-50, because like, I really like his character. I think he's very apologetic for the things that he's done, but it's one of those characters, it's hard to forgive something like that. I don't know how you could ever put yourself, and not just yourself, your partner in danger like that. That's kind of hard to forgive. That's kind of hard to, you know, swallow that pill. It's It's rough. What? That's when I offered to help change his fate if he worked alongside me. So that's an interesting word that the game always throws out. Fate, I can change it. So do remember that as well. Because I too am an interceptor, but I wasn't chosen by that woman, Variah. I forcefully became one the moment I entered this world. I told Dylan the secrets of this world, that its existence is a recycled one. So I think it goes a little bit into how that came to be with V here, but it just makes it really interesting that one, she's aware of V. Well, sorry, she's aware of Variah, and she was able to force herself to be an interceptor. I know I have to read more because I think it goes a little bit into it, but I think I remember when I first saw this, I was like, what is happening here? But let me read this and hopefully we'll get some answers. I told Dylan the secrets of this world, that its existence is a recycled one, and as such he came down to the third layer to retrieve the to retrieve the nano drive, with set instructions to damage the drive enough to corrupt its data but preserve the drive itself. The footage you saw was when he went through with the plan, but why did Dylan betray you? Because they started kidnapping children. You know, the cases of the missing children. V's been kidnapping them and storing them in the hidden coliseums. They're planning on making them fight each other in a deadly tournament, all for their sick money schemes and entertainment. Is that true? Hyperbolic, sure, but there's always some truth to every lie. If Dylan stuck it out and had faith in me, he'd see that he's viewing things from the wrong perspective. Because his poor consciousness couldn't handle my plan, he bailed. And because I loved to run my mouth, I had told him that Alon was an interceptor too, and that they would be arriving in the city soon. Of course, that came true, and he clung on to the idea of getting close to Alon. Whether or not you trust me is irrelevant. The fact of the matter is that he only got close to Alon because they were the interceptor. And now, keep in mind, his head kind of turns down because he knows what V is saying has truth to it. From the very first moment you two spoke, he took advantage of the forbidden knowledge this world hid secret. He used Alon because he wanted them to change his fate. That is the only reason he put up with Alon and let Anna into his home. Your relationship with him has been fake since the beginning. Is that true, Dylan? When Bladestar blew up the ball, and you were depressed because Alon was missing for a while, you weren't worried about Alon you were worried about your fate if Alon had died. And you were only trying to protect me because I was close to Alon. If I left the picture, you thought Alon would leave too. If they left, that meant your grim future would come true. A tool from the start, that's all you two were. You were a means to an end. Your only purpose was to save his sorry butt. And after hearing all of this, he can't even be man enough, to say sorry. He took another gamble and lost. V, I still don't know why you want my drive, but if I go with you, will you let Dylan go? If you come with me now, yes, but I won't extend that kindness again. Annie, stop. Dylan, it may have all been fake, but I decided that doesn't matter to me. You and Alon made me feel so happy. That means the world to me. And even if it were for selfish reasons, you protected me. Now I'm going to protect you. If you go with her, she's going to destroy you. See, that's interesting. So he says her. I don't know. I would just assume they're binary still. If you go with them, she's going to destroy you. Please take care of Maggie for me. She's my cherished partner and the greatest gift I've ever had. Thank you, Dylan. One last thing. You don't need Alon to change your fate, because you are a remarkable person too. I know that if you take charge of your life, you can change fate itself. My belief in that is strong. I know you'll see that someday. And to Alon, I'm sorry. It's something that I go back to is just really tragic. I go back to a simple quote. Desperate times calls for desperate measures. When you have somebody that is in fear, scared for their life, they get desperate. They cling on for dear life. I don't blame Dylan for what he tried to do. Most people in predicaments like that would do very similar things. Period. You can't change my mind on that. When you get to a point that you are severely desperate, when you're hungry enough, you do wild stuff. It's nature. It's instincts taking over, that you want to live. You don't want to die. You don't want to suffer. I get it. It's still, at the end of the day, sad. And I still feel to some extent that I would at least hope that Dylan had some level of care for us. Maybe not. But I have a hard time thinking that he had zero care. I think there had to be some level of care. I mean, he gave Maggie to Anna, a Pokemon that probably brought him memories. He still had to stick around with us. Yeah, sure, for the obvious reasons that V brought up before, but I would like to think that there's more to it. Dylan has screwed up numerous times and has paid multiple prices for the mistakes that he made. At the end of it, he dug the hole, and it's incredible where Anna is saying, you don't have to stay in there. You can get out. Yeah, you screwed up multiple times. I'm not mad. I just want you to be better, and I want you to know that I'm still thankful, even if it was fake. I'm still thankful what you have done. And it's incredible, Anna's perspective of how she sees and perceives that. I always give people one chance, and it turns out that the one person to take that chance isn't even a person at all. I appreciate your compliance, Anna. I'll return the favor. Stop. Alon? Dylan? It was fun. Anna, please. See you guys later. Data recollection active. And it's interesting from V's perspective, and I don't even think, see, it's really difficult. I can't tell if they're a good person or a bad person, or I mean technically a mix of both, sure. Excuse me there. Oof, I died for a moment. I had to get some water. Anyways, right, I don't know a whole lot about V and their character, but I think some things about them are said a little bit later within the story, but it's interesting just how she is, how they are, you know. And it still makes me wonder more about the whole interceptor thing. I don't remember if it goes more into it. I think it does, but I guess we'll just kind of keep reading. Grandma, what is my purpose? Your purpose is to fight. Your purpose is to fight and control the mech Pokemon. With Pokemon gone, humans must rely on machines and weaponry to defend themselves. Without your presence on this terminal, the mechs will go haywire and attack us. Please remember that. Then I am a weapon. Down to its simplest terms, you would be considered a weapon, yes. But I like to think of you as more of a protector. Though to protect means to fight, and you will do so on my command in this room. Understood? I am a protector. I will abide by these rules set. Very good. Thank you, Anna, for everything. And again, it's just interesting how much of an influence Varia has on this entire story. As you can probably tell, Varia is the one that Anna referred to as Grandma, if I'm not mistaken. Well, that was a lot to unpack there. Why didn't you stop her? Why did you let Anna go? You're pathetic. It was her choice. I don't think any of these add or subtract points. I'll check again, but I'm almost certain it doesn't. Yeah, you can go with either or. Again, you can have your feelings and go with whatever you want to go with. Plain and simply, Dylan screwed up. He's made so many mistakes. And as I mentioned earlier, a lot of unforgivable decisions. Of course, everyone's different. Some may forgive, some may not. But the point is, he made some really awful choices with his life. I wouldn't call him pathetic. Some may. But I'm going to, of course, go with the first one. I've said it for many years, and it's just the way that I've always looked at things. The number one word to me is choice. Choice determines everything. I cannot say it enough. The choices we do have so much of an impact, not on just our lives, but the things and people around us. It is her right to have that choice. And I understand Dylan may be upset that we did not intervene at all. We probably could have. But the reality of it is, it's her decision. And that is what she wanted. It was her choice. She didn't have a choice at all. She never had a choice. But you could have done something. So I think what he's going at is the whole fate thing, being like, hey, I know things about you guys that Varia's world is predetermined. This was going to happen anyways. You could have done your whole interceptor thing and stop it. Why didn't you? But again, we're stepping in and saying, yeah, I could have, probably. I'm not going to. She wanted to do it. Do it then. It was what was meant to be. But you could have done something. Now V is going to take Anna and rip out her drive. She's going to be nothing. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I did use you. I used the both of you. But I genuinely cared about both of your well-beings, and I fought to make sure Anna was safe. And I go back to what I said moments ago. I did believe, at least I hope, that he did care. And I didn't have any doubts on that, but there were, you know... Alright, sorry, I had to get some more water. Anyways, I know there were more ulterior motives that he wanted to use us, but I do believe that he did have some level of care. It doesn't even matter anymore. It's all over. I couldn't protect Kalyane, and I couldn't protect Anna. Money and power are worthless. They don't keep your loved ones alive. What will you do now? So that's it? Go the first one. There's nothing to do. I'm going home. V connected a portal to this dungeon to the underground. We can head back there through that. Alon found H disk. I don't remember. A disk that can be used to activate the lift at the underground. Oh, I see. Hey, why do people keep appearing in this corner? Seriously, I turn around and then there's someone else just standing there right there. Am I too high right now? Anyway, you manifested at the right time. Did you hear? The Coliseum is coming back. There's gonna be a live broadcast happening in just under an hour. I'm hyped. For a moment. Let's see. Is this your home? Yeah, here we go. So what? You're just going to sit here and do nothing? There's nothing I can do. Anna chose to give herself up. Now V has her. We can't get to the hidden Coliseum without the key. So what? Your friend is about to die, and you won't even try? She sacrificed everything for you. I did try, and I failed. I'm done. Nothing I could do to change anything, because that's what fate has in store. So giving up is better than not trying at all. Even if the ragged face of fate herself deems that this all ends in failure, standing up for what's right clears all. Every time I try to help, it just makes things worse. If you guys want to go and try, then be my guest. But it's almost dinner time. I'm going to start cooking. I always knew you were a piece of crap, but I never chalked you up for being a bad friend. Waste yourself away here then, but I'm going to try, even if I fail. I'm going to. Alon, we're going to go save Anna. You with us? Wait, that's a key card from the lift. For the lift, sorry. The H disk. This should bring us down to V's Coliseum. Where did you find this? What? So much for fate, huh? This is why you live, Dylan. Because things may turn out alright in the end. Let's make haste. The ceremony's going to begin soon. Let's raise hell. Have fun with your dinner, I guess. What are we, 43 minutes? Yeah, we can go on a little bit while longer. I'm trying to think on how long the quest is still going to continue on for. I don't quite remember, but we'll keep going. Do I need to activate this here? I think so. Move your cane, Peony. We gotta go. I'm moving. Wait. I'm going too. I'm not gonna sit around and waste away like he said. Maybe we can change things here. I'm giving my faith to the Interceptor. Absolutely no idea what you mean by that, but that's better. You're still a meanie though. Get in. I'd rather be a meanie than a loser. Let's go. Certified bro moment. We were on that thing for about 15 minutes. The air feels tight too. We must be hundreds of feet underground. Long ago, the underground used to be a town for excavators. It was the same branch from the ore region that built the under as well. This must have been the point where the mining stopped, so V was building stuff down here unnoticed. If there's anything you want to do unnoticed, the underground is the place to do it. True. Let's go. Anna needs us. Let me save real quick. Now there is a thing about the Colosseum. I think it goes into an explanation, so I'll kind of just hold off on that for now. Okay, so that's locked. Okay. I know there's certain things I want to make sure that I do right. It's time. Can I ask you something? Of course. I saw many different versions of me in that building. Why am I so important? The first. Huh? The Anna unit is supposedly a hive mind. All Anna units are you, and vice versa. But you're special because you're the remote, the driver of each and every Anna unit. The Meridian army was so strong because they couldn't destroy you. You were tucked away safe in a warehouse while you controlled thousands of Anna units on the battlefield. Oh. The way you work is that your drive is bounded to a user, and that user has complete control over your functions. In the case of Meridian, that was Varia. Without that master behind the controls, your drive is useless. But if that's the case, then how am I here talking to you now? I scanned each and every person in this city to see who had a blood match with Varia. And those who yielded the highest results were taken and stored here. Let me fill you in on one little secret. Varia has no blood relatives, but there's bits and pieces of her legacy within each and every one's veins. I had to yield the person with the highest amount of that legacy, and in doing that, one of them had the potential to awaken me. In theory, yes, but it was a long shot. Out of like 100%, the highest match we were able to find was 3%. So as you can imagine, the odds of any of them actually awakening you was ridiculous, but it is still possible. Still though, that plan changed when Alon came into the picture. Alon, Dylan sent Alon to rescue you, but what none of us knew was that Alon had a massive connection to you from the start. Because of that connection, Alon changed the trajectory of this entire mission. Alon awakened Anna Unit 9494. Now what's cool, keep in mind, that little password there, it's a secret password that at the beginning of the game where you can, enter passwords and whatnot, you get to play as Anna if you type in 9494. Now also to give a little bit of a refresher, keep in mind Anna at one point within like the main story before the whole older Meridian Varia thing, there was an actual Anna flesh and blood similar to all the others. So yeah, now actually I might be wrong on that. She might have actually been an android even at that point with our friends and never really knew that. Actually, I don't really know. That's actually kind of interesting to think about. I actually don't know. Anyways, we'll just continue on. Or I guess, more specifically, the ones who awoken you were... Right, the protags, of course. The souls of Avis, Avia, Axel, Arena, Alon, and Arrow. Do you remember your time as Una 9494? Your line of Una was a meta class dedicated to repairing and improving battle class Anna units. During a battle with another nation, you were heavily damaged and fell beneath the Earth's crust. Thousands of years later, you were found by those six and brought back to life. Okay, so it actually does go into that then. Okay, so I guess I was somewhat on the right track, but didn't really remember this part here. Sorry for jumping the gun there. Though it was short, you lived a life full of happiness and purpose with them, but in the end, you were destroyed by interlopers. Still, the memory of those who loved you caused the memories of Anna Unit 9494 to awaken the nano drive. Now, I'm not entirely certain what they meant by interlopers. Anyways, I remember now, I remember them so fondly. Avia, Avis, Axel, Arena, Alan, Arrow. But there was one more with them. I believe she's referring to Crescent. Crescent was the one who found me. Regardless, the point is, Dylan made this so much harder than it needed to be. You were not supposed to be awake in a 9494. A non-sentient nano drive was supposed to awaken and be torn down, but now you have sentience. That makes this a lot more difficult. But why do you need this drive? Because my grandma sent me here to retrieve it. Where I'm from, that drive is the only thing that has the power to save everything. It is the difference between life and death, the usual cliche. Your grandma sent you by yourself to fulfill such a task. I'm the best one for the job. It's a lonely work, but I do what I can. I got people back at home. So basically, I'll be saving a lot of people if I do this. More than you can possibly... Wait. You're a machine. You probably can count the exact number. I'll cooperate then gladly. But, if it's not too selfish, can I have two final requests? I don't think it's fair for you to shoulder a burden alone, so can we be friends? As for the second thing, well... Now that's something that's really interesting, and it goes back to what I mentioned before. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Go back to the main story at the very end where the protag and Malia were talking within that, I'll just call it a Doom timeline just to keep it simple. You go through the whole tablet eyeball thing and Alon's like, if you don't come back and save me in this world, I'm gonna kick your butt, yada yada yada. It connects with other worlds and theories that I had before, that there are multiple worlds and versions and games, whatever you want to call or word it, that have been doomed. V is from one of those worlds, and they were like, hey, I was sent here by grandma and I have to do this. I'm an interceptor from that time. I was able to go through fate. I'm here and now, and I need that nano drive. Without that, I can't save the world that I came from. Really, really neat and cool how that all kind of like connects and ties together. Just something to kind of point out there is all. Okay. We are in the Hidden Coliseum. Yeah, let's keep going actually. You know, it's actually kind of cool. The PC there, I remember, I thought I had a complaint that there wasn't like a PC or healing station here, so maybe they did decide to add them? I don't really know, who knows. Wait, Alon, stop. Gosh darn it. Walking into this room made us feel weird. We don't know what's going on. It feels as though we've been inflicted with some sort of curse. Curse? What are you talking about? An announcement? Yo, welcome to the Underground's FFA Hidden Coliseum Tournament. The very, very first? No, Paldea. I think that's how you pronounce that? I don't really know. I assume she was, or they were speaking Spanish. I think, I don't really know. Alright, I'm back. Sorry for the pause, I had to go do something. Anyways, today you got me, V, at your service. Oh, sorry. The Emperor and Empress of the Colosseum. I ain't your girl, and I ain't your man's either. Let's bring the anonymous viewers. For a moment. Let's explain the rules. In today's tournament, 25 children will be fighting for their lives. In my labyrinth, all 25 trainers have been scattered. They all have one objective: escape. There is a door that leads to the exit, but of course, life is not so simple. The door is locked and cannot be opened without the main stage key. As for the key, well, one of the 25 children have been randomly selected to be the key bearer. The key bearer cannot open the door, only 24 other players can. The objective of the key bearer is to be the last one standing. You may be asking, last one standing? What's going on here? My labyrinth has stolen tech that allows me to make things a bit interesting. When a trainer's eyes meet, they must battle. The winner of the battle continues on, and the loser... I think it said is erased, sorry. I didn't mean to skip that. For clarity, there is no limit to how many people can pass through the door. If the key bearer is found and defeated immediately, all 24 other players can all leave unscathed. Well, I think that's a bit unlikely, but you never know. But that does it for my explanation. For my dear anonymous guest, place your bets on who you think will survive and win big. Let's get this game going. Pretty interesting game. V's a psychopath, forcing these kids to fight for their lives as entertainment? Who would do such a thing? I hear it's quite popular among bear Pokemon these days. Us passing through that gate probably inflicted her tech onto us, which means we're bounded to the rules of the game as long as we're here. If we lock eyes, we have to battle, and if we lose, we're erased. We aren't players, so we're probably not forced to battle, but if we walk further into the labyrinth and another player locks eyes onto us, they'll be forced to battle us or face erasure. That'll probably go for us too. I feel like this is inflicted, but this is messed up, son. It is. If we continue, it may come down to us taking down some of the players, especially if we want to grab the key and progress further. And perhaps it's morally sound to just let them do their thing and wait for the door to open. Oh no, not a chance. V, you all think you could just infiltrate my game of no consequence. The door was open, sorry, so you were invited. I've placed a special curse on all 4 of you. Since you want to play so bad, you will make my game interesting. If the door is open before all 4 of you get 1 kill, you will be erased. If the door is open before all 4 of you get 1 kill, you'll be erased. And if you all try to leave early, you'll erase 1 person at random anyways. This one's sociopathic, actually. So have fun, happy hunting, Anna's waiting for you. Dill Pickle. Adios. Looks like we don't have a choice now. This is bullcrap. Let's avoid as many people as we can, look for the key bearer, and... Okay, so as you could tell and see, we're pretty much looking for the trainer with the key. Now, I'm going to go through this without eliminating anybody. Unfortunately, I think the one with the key will be eliminated. I don't think you can change that if my memory serves me right. I guess I can... Yeah, let me read the thing just in case, because honestly, I don't even remember the person who had the key to begin with, and I don't really feel like going through all of this trying to find the specific one out of all 24 of them, so yeah. Let me see here. Okay, I'm back. Sorry for the pause there. I went to go look at the guide. So, what it says is... After all the dialogue proceed forward, there will be trainers in every room. If you battle them and when they die, I wouldn't recommend not killing people. I would recommend not killing people. I think I might have read that wrong, sorry. If I didn't, then that's okay, I'm just being repetitive and dumb. But you do you. Your kill count is tracked. Your next set of rooms is right up. Interact with the key bearer. Although she seems to die, it's not counted towards your kill count. Okay, so just right and up then? Oh. So... right... I can't go right again. Let me read that again. Oh, I must have skipped a thing, sorry. So the path to continue is right, down, left, down. Okay, so down. Let's just be careful. Left. And what is it again? Down again? Right, down, left, down. After crossing the bridge, proceed into the next room. Okay. Okay. I think we're doing good so far. Now, of course, if you want to, I don't know, go on a wild spree battling them, that's up to you. I, of course, don't want to harm any of them, so... yeah. How are you faring? We faring? 2 of them. I tried running, but they were too obsessed with looking for the key bearer. 4 for me. I fear they see an old lady and try to gang up on her. What about you, Alon? 0. Huh. That means there's only 19 kids left in this game. I'm pretty quick. I haven't gotten anyone yet. At this rate, I don't care if I'm erased. Stop. Come on, we have more to go. For a moment. Crap, Peony, give me a boost. Oh no. Night nuke? What? What the party girl? Guys, find Anna for me. Madame Peony, Patricia. Let's go, Alon. We have to find that key bearer. Thanks, Patricia and Madame Peony. V. What's wrong, Dylan? You look like you've seen a ghost. You killed my friends. That trap was meant for the players who decided... You decided to insert yourself into my game, so you all have no one to blame but yourselves. I'm done talking. So boring. Instead of a battle, how about I take you to Anna right away? Screw off. I'm not falling for your schemes. It's no scheme. In fact, I'm being 100% genuine. Don't you want to see Anna? Gyarados, snap her skull in 2. You're the king of making things far more difficult than they should be. Fine then, I have no choice. Well. For today's game, we have a special guest. A guest from the elite. The king of the underground himself, Dylan. But the king of the underground on a bunch of children is unfair, no? So let's make things a little more equal. I present to you the champion of the Hidden Colosseum. Annie? Annie, it's me. Don't you remember? No. What? Anna, your objective is to win at any cost. Command accepted. Erase target. Annie, if you don't fight, she will kill you. Make the right choice. Anna, battle commence. Well, good luck, Dylan. I'll be there in a moment. Okay, so next set is right, right, and up. Okay. Right, right, and up. Sorry, miss. You locked eyes with me, and I'm the key bearer. Sorry, but I refuse to fight. If I let you win, then the door will be unlocked, right? And in that case, I forfeit. You win. Challenger has forfeited. The key bearer has been defeated. The door to the main arena has been opened. All players must pass through the door before the rules are lifted. Right, now, okay. The whole PC thing, now I remember. That's the thing that really makes this difficult, because you're honestly like I'm almost certain there is not. Oh, I don't want to run into you. Yeah, I think it's just battlers here, but no, yeah, it's something. I know I kind of brought it up at the beginning that there are a lot of difficult battles and make sure that you are prepared. I still feel the same way, I guess, that I did a year or something ago when I recorded this. I know I brought up something similar with the Spacia and Timba battle, but at least with that, well, a kind viewer was, of course, kind enough to let me know that apparently there is a way down south. I guess there's like a time crystal there that you can go back and forth, so I didn't really know that at the time, but kind of similar to that until I knew that information. I feel the same about this. I have no idea why, for such a difficult battle, they would not at least give you a PC star and a healing star over here. Because, like, I mean, like, I have a remote PC, thankfully. So if I need to change anything, I can at my convenience. But if you kind of get to this point, and let's say you are like a new player to the game, and let's say you're not well prepared for this, it's kind of brutal. And I still have no idea why they just wouldn't add a PC or anything down here. I really don't know. I kind of thought maybe with some of the, you know, updates and whatnot, they might have, but I guess not. It is what it is. If there are players that are having difficulties with this, I am sorry. The only, and let's say you don't have a remote PC and whatnot, I do have a video that goes over going back to an old save file if you need to do so, to capture different Pokemon, to EV train, to level up, or get some healing items, whatever it may be. So if you need to, I do have a video that goes over those kind of things. But yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate. I still feel that they should at least have a PC star and a healing station available for the player. That's just me though, because again, it definitely gets into a very difficult battle. Alright, I'm back. Had to go do something. I think I finished up the rant that I was giving a few moments ago, but yeah, that's just kind of like my feelings and all that. Anyways, he's not dead. That man should consider himself lucky I have such a bleeding heart, or else I wouldn't have called off my champion's attack. Where are my manners? Let me introduce myself. Sorry, let me introduce to you. Come here, Anna. You have a new opponent. Dylan was stupid enough to not fight back against such a monster. I just have to wonder what the Interceptor will do in this situation. Anna, snap out of it. Stop this now. It won't work. Pointless drivel is only going to piss her off further, and that's not ideal. So that being said, Anna, your command is the same as before. Erase your opponent. Command accepted. Battle commence. Now, I don't think that this team that I have will work against the Nano Drive here. I'm still gonna give it the best shot that I can give it, but most likely I will have to rechange the team. Okay. Is there any music? Oh, it's just the crowd. Okay. But it was very low. Okay, what is your typing again? Steel fighting. What a beautiful start. Alright, T-Tar. Yep, I'm dead. I'm gonna have to do something different, because with her having Pup, that's not really fun. Pup, for short for Power Punch. What do I do? What do I do? Sure? Okay. Yep. You know what would be kind of fun? Maybe like substitute Gliscor? Might not be a bad idea. Actually, and I don't have Roost either. I don't know, maybe like sub Gliscor may not be a bad idea. Maybe. I guess you, because I already... Well, that... I don't even think I clicked A. Maybe I did accidentally too quickly. That seemed really quick. Weird. Okay, Sigalith. You know, I believe in... Nope. Hot dog! You, sir. Ma'am, got that. Look at it, you took that. Now, super credit. That actually did so much more than I thought it would have. So maybe hot dog's not a bad thing. However, I don't like these stats. I don't like its stats. Huh. I don't know why, like, I feel like I'm not clicking that quickly. That is so odd. Oh well, yeah, I totally got that. Good job, Skarmory. We got him exactly where we want her. Oh, that thing. Alright, let me just kind of redo the team here. Well, I gotta think about this actually. I really like Gliscor. I don't know if I have Substitute as like a TM. Actually, I don't know. Do I? I don't think I do. Or no, I do. No, I don't. I don't really know. Substitute. No, I don't. I wish I did. But no, I don't. Okay. I know I have Roost. Roost may not be a bad thing. But the problem is, it's those setup moves. Those are a little bit spooky. With just how much it sets up like that. What's her ability? Iron Fist. I mean... It sounds kind of stupid, but I kind of hate to go to it, but I might. Like, I don't know, like, Meowstic, Yawn, go for, like, Reflect, swap into Gliscor, try to get a few SDs, and just spam Earthquake. Yeah, I don't know if it'll work, but I mean, it's an idea. You know, let's just go to the drawing board. Alright, I'm back. So, I guess there really isn't any music in this part. So, clearly T-Tar and Sharpedo are absolutely not going to work for this one. I really like Light Score. Hot Dog honestly really didn't do bad. I don't know if I'll keep him, but I guess like a really strong fire type may not be bad. I really love Skarmory because I'm sure, well, as you could saw, it brought it down to like its, you know, sturdy, so I don't think there's a point in that. Sigilyph just doesn't really do anything for me in this battle. I mean, I could try this thing. I don't really know though. Maybe Entei. Mimikyu's not terrible, but with its steel typing, there's just not a lot I can really do with this guy. I do like the idea of Meowstic. I think that's a good idea. Where's my defensive Chomp? I think the Chomp wouldn't be bad, except I want to replace Soft Sand for Rocky Helmet. I don't think that's a bad idea. Quag doesn't seem terrible. I mean, it could probably... Well, let me get my defensive one. Because I think it can probably, what, take a hit, go for Yawn potentially. And I could just change it to like Unaware Quag. You know, we'll keep Hot Dog. And then... Well, here's the thing. I believe there's a battle right after Anna, though. I think there is actually, now that I remember. Let me think. Would be kind of goofy to do like baton speed boost. I don't really know though. You might be kind of fun with like Will-O-Wisp. Try to lower the thing's attack. Sure, why not? If I can find Will-O-Wisp. Oh wait, I do have sub. I don't know what item the thing has, but I kind of like U-turn, that's the thing. I get rid of knockoff. We'll reteach Will-O-Wisp to you. I kind of like sub though. Nah, whatever. I'll just reteach it Hydra at some point. It's fine. Right, and I want to give the Chomp Rocky Helmet. That was actually really convenient. I wasn't planning for Rocky Helmet to be like right there. Okay, let's see the items. Let me give you a... Oh. I guess I'll show it real quick. Got our Meowstic there. Hot Dog. I should change your abilities actually. Hold up. I know I don't normally do this at like the start. Normally have this all done, but I don't know. Kind of want to show the progress here. I think Ambitious to play. I don't know. Just make you modest. Why not? Much better. Adamant. Serious. I guess I could change you too. Bold is fine. Okay. So I do want to change you from serious to... I guess relax is fine because you ain't outspeeding nothing. Oh, right. Your ability. I do want you to be... whatchamacallit? Unaware. Okay. That's the team there. And take two. Okay. I think, you know, I think Yon's to play. Okay, I'm gonna go. Oh wow. I did not know that. Oh wait. See, now that time I know I did not click A. That is so odd. Like, here's the thing, I've noticed that recently. Like, it just goes super quick, and I don't know why it's doing that. Maybe it is me, I don't know, but like, that was really weird. Regardless, I'm just gonna have to play like this. I don't really want to. But if it's just gonna keep going for sucker, then... I mean, for some reason it's... working? Oh. Okay. Yawn. Okay, so now it kind of changes a little bit. Okay. Falls asleep. My reflect. Okay, it's about to end this turn. Psychic. I want the reflect back. Okay, so I'm out. Let me think for a moment. We don't have bad momentum, but the battle still isn't over. So... I honestly, I kind of want to go into Billy. Just because it has, you know, unaware. That crit kind of sucked a little bit. But we do break another shield. Does it wake up this turn? The nano drive is closing out the battle. Okay, still fighting. Okay, so it's still asleep. Earthquake. Spiky shield. Yawn again. Earthquake again. Now you're asleep. And honestly, I think any of these Pokemon are fine. SD and just Earthquake. Oh, I thought I would have taken it out there. That wasn't terrible? There has to be more. I think there's like another thing to that. Maybe not. Alon. Hey, Alon. Hey, we're over here. I got us a booth. Sorry about Dylan. He's always been such a heavy sleeper. I couldn't wake him up. Where are we? Are you okay? I'm okay. Really. Damaging my physical body gave me a few seconds to communicate with you, but don't worry. My processing speed is so good that it'll be a long time until our conversation is forced to end. You know, Alon, I really admired you. You went through that whole ordeal and you didn't hurt anyone. Even Dylan and Madame Peony had to unfortunately do things I'm sure they regret. It's not like V gave them a choice on that matter, but... Alon, I have a favor to ask of you. When you return, I want you to destroy my body. My nano drive's been activated, which means that my main processing component has gained complete control, but that's okay with me. I was never supposed to have any sort of control on this body. Technically... Oh, goodbye. I believe that was like another version of Anna there. Technically, I'm only a spare that got a lucky second chance at life, and although it was short, it was something I'll never forget. Machines like me don't go to heaven or hell, and we don't come back as ghosts, so I won't forget anything ever again. My memories with you all are too precious. Avis, Avia, Axel, Arena, Alon, Arrow, Crescent, Dylan, Madame Peony, Party Girl, Sienna, V, Varaya, Maggie, and you, Alon. All my precious friends who made me feel like someone special. Sienna and Varaya taught me that death comes to all. That's just a natural part of life and death, right? So I guess I'm just participating in the natural order of things. I don't regret any of it, okay? And after this is all said and done, you shouldn't either. I think if I had to have a regret, it's that I didn't get to talk to Dylan, Party Girl, or Madame Peony one last time. But my drive was able to bring them here, so that means they're going to be okay. Seeing them again will be enough. I don't want to go yet. I'm scared. I want to have more fun adventures with you all. I want to have more moments. I want to laugh. I want to get upset. And when I die, that'll be it for me. Will I really remember? I say I will, but will I be me after it's all gone? Alon, will you please be there for me? Anna, let's finish this. Command accepted. And this time, put it all into account. Activate the B drive. Command accepted. Battle commence. Oh, you're typing. Wait. Oh. Nice. Okay. No, the team that I have is not going to work. I kind of knew there was like a second phase to this. I don't know. That's gonna be a little bit tricky. I know I don't win this one, clearly. Will you remember all of this too? Yeah, I'm kind of curious, does it just take you to the one thing? Yeah, it just takes you back here. Okay, honestly, see, I hate to do that. Here's what I'll probably do. I don't think I'm gonna do 2 parts. I think I'll keep this as one video, but I'm gonna stop the recording here, and I'll just not upload, but just combine the second part to this video and just make it one full episode. It's just, I can go about this probably for a long while, and I just don't want to drag it out on this video. We'll stop here with the recording, and I'll do my usual shenanigans cooking up something, because if I'm not mistaken, the thing that's tricky about this battle is there's that phase 1, which we actually did really well, surprisingly. I might have to do some stuff. Well, no, it's really tricky because you can't really swap your Pokemon in that field, so I gotta keep that in mind as well. I mean, I don't know, I could do something with like defensive Hippowdon with Slack Off, Yawn. Does my Hippowdon have Yawn? Yep, Solus, I hear you. No, it does not. Kinda wish I did had Yawn. Yeah, no matter what, I'll think of something and then just add the one part when I actually go about it. Because, right, I was going to say the one thing. There is a battle with V, but the thing is, I don't know if your team gets healed for that battle. That I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, either way, it's gonna be something a little bit tricky with, you know, sub mode, no items, but just like with any other battle, we'll make it work. We'll make it work, but it may just take me some time. Alrighty, I know this may be confusing and something different than what I normally would do. I'll get into a quick explanation on all of that now. So, plain and simply, after the first part of recording this side quest here, I went to go get something to eat. I put on some music, I was vibing out, changing this, redoing that, battling back and forth, trying to make a team that could at least win against Anna and, of course, V. I was very skeptical on beating V, so at the minimum, I would have been happy with phase 1 and phase 2 of the Anna battle, but somehow I was able to pull off a team that wins against all 3 of them. I was very, very surprised and also very, very happy about it. Thankfully, I have it recorded on OBS, so here's where it's going to get into different territory from what I'm used to doing. I'm going to pretty much record that into this. I'm going to speak over and give some commentary to that battle because I had my mic and all muted, of course. So yeah, yes, I could go back to an old save, replicate what I did. The problem is it took a lot of RNG to pull it off, mainly with Yawn and keeping Anna to sleep. So yeah, I just don't really want to go back and forth and redo that again since I already have it recorded, said and done. So at this point, we're about to get into that video there. I know it's a little bit different than what I normally would do, but I would say that this is definitely one of the more difficult battles, and I just don't feel like redoing it. And plus, I already have it recorded. All I'm doing is just adding commentary, so I think I should be good. So, Alrighty, so here's the battle here. I'm going over the, IVs, natures, movesets, items, yada yada yada, of the team that I built. It is a little bit similar to the last one, but it also has a few different members on the team as well, as you can see. With the, I believe Haxorus is new, Mimikyu I believe is new as well. I think the special defensive Quag is also new. I don't quite remember, but yeah, anyways, going into some commentary here. The main goal is to go for Yawn. I went through multiple battles and it requires specific amounts of sleep on the nano drive that pretty much I can keep it asleep and allow Billy to pretty much take care of it without any other Pokemon taking any damage. The flip side is getting Billy to have slightly above half HP for the second battle. You'll see it in a little bit once this kind of goes by, but it's really crucial because I'm able to take one hit barely, go for Yawn, and then it takes me out, and then I just kind of continue the battle from then on. So this is pretty much me kind of going back and forth with the nano drive. Again, this is my defensive Billy with Unaware. That's why Power Up Punch and all the other attacks that it's trying to go for is not really doing a whole lot, because Unaware is, of course, an ability that it makes you unaware of any stat changes. So yeah, if there may be some players that don't really know how that ability works. So it's a sleep one final time. We go for Earthquake here, and pretty much that's the end of phase 1. Now, I believe I've already gone through this dialogue before, so at this point I pretty much kind of just skip on over it. I do save at this point mainly because I went through that battle multiple times and I was like, you know what, just save. I got what I needed to get out of that one, just in case if the second battle doesn't go in my favor, I can just know that I gone through the first one. So here's phase 2 of the battle against the nano drive here. Since we're a little bit above half HP, I'm gonna go for Yawn. We can barely take the hit, and that is exactly what we need, and Billy has done her job very, very well. So I guess this is just me kind of, looking at the team, kind of thinking in my mind moments ago whenever I recorded this part. I don't remember when, but probably yesterday whenever I recorded the... No, yeah, it would have been yesterday, right? But anyways, Billy's out. We go into Haxorus. I love Haxorus because it's a menace. Its attack is very high, so I pretty much go for D-Claw twice to break the one shield. I think it wakes up this turn though, and pretty much knocks us out. Oh no, oh well, here we go. It didn't really matter because it outspeeds us anyway, so we're pretty much out and gone. And this is where I go into Ice Cream, and I go for Yawn again. Fire Blast took us out if I'm not mistaken, there we go. And it took a little bit of damage there. This is where I thought a little bit, because I was like, this is really tricky against that Iron Moth. It kept running in my mind on how am I gonna pull it off with just these 3 Pokemon. I know eventually, if I'm not mistaken, I make the decision to go into Gliscor. It's the one choice that made sense to me at the time, but you'll see what happens in a few moments. Unfortunately, this guy kind of gets sent to the Shadow Realm, so Gliscor's gone, and then pretty much it forces me to go into Billy. Now, looking back at it, I think Gliscor was the best decision, mainly because I needed to sack something off in order for it to go sleep that turn, so I don't have to worry about it, still staying awake. And I did need to keep the Quagsire healthy. The special defensive Quag was my counter to Iron Moth, so yeah. And then also thinking about it, I think I went into Gliscor more so because of whatchamacallit, Anna's ability. Oh, right. I forgot. I didn't mean to skip that portion. What I will do is Yeah, I can go back to an old save, redo the second phase of the battle, read the dialogue, and then kind of just continue on. I mainly just want to show you the battle here, but I did not mean to skip the dialogue like that, sorry. Anyways, though, we pretty much go for the attack to break the balloon, and we just spam amnesia to get our special defense up. That crit honestly made me worry a lot, but thankfully we were still taking hits extremely well. And again, since we are specially defensive and unaware, Iron Moth cannot do a lot to us. So we pretty much break a shield there. Iron Moth is ramping up. Go for Earthquake here. And that is pretty much it for the battle. Not bad, considered. Well, I considered it, and I won't give the drive up, but I like you, Alon. I respect you. I can see why Grandma spoke so highly of you. But this is goodbye. V. See ya. And then they send out their, I guess, nebula here. And then that kind of gets us into the elevator scene. That's pretty much it, and then I'm gonna go back to the one dialogue piece there. Alright, I'm back. Sorry for the pause there. We're pretty much about to beat this battle yet again, and I'm gonna read the one dialogue piece that I accidentally skipped through. I did not mean to do that on the initial recording. I guess I was just kind of in the zone and just kind of wanted it to be done, so yeah, my bad. But I do want to make sure that I read it here because it is very interesting and important dialogue. So we beat the nano drive here, and sorry that the music's off. I had my own music playing earlier, so that's why I kind of had it off. But anyways, the nano drive is, of course, freaking out. Annie? Dylan, I love you, I believe is what it's trying to say. See you guys tomorrow. That's it. The show is over. V, that's Anna. Give her back to us right now. This piece of metal is not your Anna. It's best to just move on. We're not letting you go after everything you've done. After everything you've done. Everything I've done? What have I done? Don't play dumb. You kidnapped kids. You hosted an underground deaf game. And you killed my friends. I'm not letting you walk away. You still don't get it. If you believed in me from the very beginning, you know that this was all staged. The kids that were in that game were not real. They were recreated projections based off the kids' consciousness, and the tech of sudden death was never activated. The kids who were taken are already in the process of being sent home. They'll wake up without any memory of anything that ever happened here. As for my precious guest, I've traced the accounts of each and every person who bet their money to watch kids slaughter themselves. I'll blackmail them and drain them for every cent. Every kid that I borrowed will be getting a fat check once a month for at least 3 years. Now, it is something that is interesting with the golden text for 3 years. I'm not entirely certain on why there was a golden text there that said 3 years. There seems to be some significance to that. I doubt that V is referring to the people from her time, her world, you know, or sorry, their world. I don't know why I keep saying her. I think I keep doing that because like Dylan called her a her, but anyways, I believe they is the right term. Sorry. Anyways, back on track. Their world and their kids and people there. I think V is referring to the people of Avium. So yeah, but the thing is, I don't like it. I get what V is trying to do, and I'm not saying what they're doing is bad. But on the flip side, I still don't understand. I mean, I get it for secrecy that it's like, but I don't know, like, I don't know why there would ever be a situation that V would be like, hey, Dylan, I'm gonna help you with the Dawns, right? But I have other plans. How about we talk a little bit? Unless it was literally something that Dylan was like, I'm not hearing it out and whatnot, I guess that has to be it, or maybe something else that I'm missing. Because in my mind, I'm kind of like, you should at least, hear them out because you don't know the full story. But I guess, that's Dylan's personality in a sense. He got what he wanted and he was gone with the wind. So, yeah, I don't really know. I feel like the way that, how do I want to word it? I think V could have done it slightly different, but they went about it in a way that they thought was the right way. And to be fair, they didn't do a bad thing per se, because pretty much children are going to get a fat check, and they pretty much ruined a ton of lives, so kind of a win-win. You ruin a bunch of people that has done nasty stuff, and the kids that you used are set up for a good future. Alright, I'm back. Sorry for the pause there, I had to go do something. But anyways, enough of that. If even one of these idiots decide they're too good enough to pay the ransom, their dealings with this game will be publicized. And you want to know the best part? After 3 years are up, the day after the last payment, they're going to be exposed anyways. All those pathetic, sick individuals that thought they could exploit children are going to have their lives ruined. They'll grovel at the despair that they've been my dogs for 3 years, all for nothing. What's going to happen when they face that despair? Will they accept their punishment for their crimes, or will they chicken out and take their own lives? Also, sorry for my dog in the background. I guess he wants to play with his toy. Personally, if it were up to me, I would watch them burn in hell for their disgusting perversions. I wish I could be here to see them suffer, but I have no business in this world anymore. So that's the thing that's interesting. So, I mean, I'm not, again, saying that the way V went about this was, the best way, but again, they saw what they, saw and did what they wanted to do. And I mean, it's kind of hard to argue that it's again, like, yeah, you could do it differently, but I mean, you pretty much exposed a bunch of bad individuals and no children were actually harmed to begin with, and they're going to be set up. It just makes me interested with their character because they come from a different world. They didn't have to go through all of this, but for some reason they wanted to do that for this world to help, the kids here, but also take down a few bad individuals. It makes me wonder, did something similar happen in V's world, wherever they come from? And V was like, okay, I'm gonna do something wacky here. I don't know. I don't know what the end goal of all of this was, besides the fact that V was like, I just want to cause a little bit of chaos, and in the middle of that chaos, I'm able to get that nano drive. I guess that is what ran through their mind. I don't really know, but again, it worked out in the end, so yeah. Well, at least for V per se, because they got the nano drive. but I have no business in this world anymore. You. You caused me a lot of problems, Dylan. But that being said, I'm still willing to help you change your fate. So what will it be? Screw you. I tried to make peace with you, but you won't accept it. You're too stubborn. Give back Anna. Really? You too, Alon? I thought you, of all people, would understand, especially after hearing her final words. You know what? You're a bleeding heart too, aren't you? Not a single kill in that game before. Let's play a game, Alon. Let's see if you can beat me in a battle. If you can, I'll consider giving Anna back to you. I'm actually kind of curious. I assume the same thing that I did before would work again. Aquatail, just break the thing. And then just kind of... Oh, wrong move. Actually, I might have lost because I did not mean to do that, sorry. Oh, that crit also kind of sucked. Yeah, I'm not gonna redo this again, of course. I definitely went for the wrong move there. That's totally my fault. What I probably should have done was Aquatail and Amnesia, not Toxic, like a Dumbo, so... Yeah, sorry about that, but pretty much, as you saw there, if you Aquatail, break the thing, Amnesia a ton of times, Earthquake, you're honestly able to win the game, so... Yeah. Oh, excuse me there. And we're back again in the elevator here. Apologies for throwing against the Iron Moth there. We already won anyway, so I'm not really going to worry about it. So yeah, just don't go for Toxic like I did at the end there. But regardless, the dialogue and all is honestly like really interesting. I won't go into any more of my thoughts and feelings because I feel like I'm just going to go in circles. But the whole 3 years thing still kind of runs in my mind. There has to be some significance because they said 3 multiple times. So yeah, there's got to be something to 3 years. I don't know if it ties in with our storyline here, that within 3 years something's gonna happen. Maybe it's something that, again, is something meaningful, sorry, to V here. I don't really know. Anyways, though, you want to help me. If you dismantle me, that will be it. But if you let me help you, I can see Alon and Dylan one last time. It's selfish and I might end up hurting them, but I want to see them. And how exactly do you expect to help me? Well, my drive has an emergency security response when it detects someone trying to remove it from my body. When that happens, my system will enter a berserk state to try and protect itself from being removed. I won't have any control of this form, but if we link together, you'll be able to give me commands. But how is this supposed to help me? You're running a show, right? With those fake projections? How did you... When you brought me here, I did an entire scan of your facility. You have each child within a simulation pod, and the flooring in your labyrinth have the means of projecting images. Darn, that drive really is something. Use my berserk mode to entertain your guest even further. That's going to help you, right? Help you with the people you're trying to protect. Yes, it will. More than you know. Then let's do this. Huh? That's my full first name. V for Valencia, I think is how you pronounce that. If I said that wrong, I'm sorry. We're friends, right? You should know my name. Ah, of course. Nice to meet you, Valencia. I hope you're satisfied with that. I wouldn't have done that for anyone else. Yeah, well, I'm glad to hear it. For now, let's just lay low. Thank you for your help, Anna. Yeah, I guess. Let's make a change. Party girl, Madame Peony. They're hurt, but they're alive. I'm bringing them back home. Okay, I'm turning back my music because it's been a little bit. There we go. Sorry for the long silence and dialogue and all that kind of good stuff, but yeah. Okay. I believe we just kind of go back here. So that about sums it up. Anna's no longer with us. Darn it. Gosh darn it. Why did this happen to Anna? You should go back home, Patricia. You and Peony sustained heavy damage from that fall. Yeah, we did. It hurt like hell. I'd do it 100 times over if it meant getting another chance to save Anna. Fate can't be changed, not by us. But that's fine. You're a lot calmer than expected. Are you okay? I'm not gonna lie and say I am. I'm not fine, but I've no interest in crying forever. I see. Well, I'm going to head back home then. Alon, Peony said she'd like to have a word with you. Make sure you go talk with her. Got it? Better go see Peony. Sounds like a plan. And I believe she resides here. So Alon, you've come. I wanted to speak to you about things. I believe I owe you children an apology. Do you remember when you and Anna came to visit me for the first time? I saw Anna's future, and, well, what I saw came true. I think I remember that. I'd have to look back, but I think she kind of like freaked out a little bit. I might be off the mark though. I don't remember her reaction, but I think it was something like that, but I'd have to re-look at that episode. Anyways, this old lady should have said something, but the last time I did, Dylan, he didn't take it well. Looking into the future has its consequences. You peer into a world that was not meant to be seen. Would the outcome have differed if I spoke up? Instead of speaking, I tried to ease Anna into her fate. With Sienna. How? I'm gonna be 100% honest, and this probably sounds terrible. I don't even remember Sienna. I guess I can go with that. Very good. Let me tell you a secret, Alon. Okay, real quick, I have to look this up. Am I going crazy? I don't remember Sienna. Sienna Pokemon. She can't be an important character. Yeah, honestly, I don't know. Maybe it was just one of the like random like NPCs that showed us here. I don't know, but I don't remember Sienna, honestly. Anyways, when it comes to a cruel fate, Dylan and Anna weren't the first, and they certainly won't be the last. Whenever a cruel fate is shown to me, I try my best to ease them into their fate by sending them to my friend Sienna. Okay, so I guess they sent her to her. I guess I gotta rewatch the last part that I did because I don't really remember that. To be fair, it's been a long while since I've gone through that, so yeah. Anyways, to figure out that death isn't the end but a new beginning, a chance to become part of the cycle of life and death. Of course, not everything takes this cycle well, but it's a part of life, and in the end will come for all of us eventually. Oh, no, Sienna. Yes, she's a new character within I now I remember. So she's the I guess like the owner of the funeral home. Right. I remember her now. I don't need clairvoyance to come to that conclusion. In Anna's place, please live your life and live it well. As for your future, I believe your next stop should be Patricia's house. That would be her Pokemon Center, of course. The future is uncertain, but that's not such a bad thing. Things will turn out alright, I'm sure of it. The future is uncertain. Okay. I guess, I don't remember if we did it at another point, but I guess they might have changed the one thing with us getting our reading. Because I remember there was like that dialogue piece during like V13 and V12 that, well, of course she looked a lot different, but it talked about us and a castle going up against something and all that kind of stuff. So I guess they decided to take that out then. Unless we did seen that, and I just don't remember when I did that on this series here. Okay, so I assume she's got to be down here. I think that fall sprained my arm or something so troublesome. It is what it is though. I'll take care of it in a bit. So what brings you here? I wanted to check in. Let me check the friendship points real quick. I believe the second one is actually the one that would give you points. But let me look. Because I recall that on this quest there is something that does give you friendship points. Let's see. Lion say you were just checking in on her. Okay. I wanted to check in. Oh, how sweet. Stop lying. What's the real reason? It's true. Peony also sent me. Aw, so actually sweet. Well, as for me, I'm fine. As for Peony, I can't imagine why she'd send you here. Truth be told, I don't have much to say. Anna meant a lot to me, but I'm not saddened by death, 'cause, you know, we'll meet again. I know we will. I hope we will. That girl meant a lot to me. She was like my sister. It sucks that things turned out this way, but I won't forget her. Not now, not ever. Though, something does concern me. Dylan is taking this very well, a little too well, you know. When it was with Kalyani, Maybe it's best if I keep an eye on him for a little while. In fact, I know I just left there, but I'm gonna go visit him again. Sounds like a plan. Dylan? Hey Dylan, where are you? What the? Dear Alon, Peony, and Patricia, I know one of you will find this shortly. In fact, I expect Party Girl will try and check on me for the way I was acting earlier. Why I am not sad, Anna was destroyed and now she's gone. See, the truth is, Anna isn't dead, she lost her body, it's true. But V? No. Valencia has her. And I'm going to find them and kill them for taking Anna from us. For everything they've done. The hatred burning in my heart won't be doused until their blood spills. That I promise you. Well, that's a certified bro moment. Don't try looking for me. Don't try talking me out of this. Anna will come home. Maggie and I will bring her home. Until then, take care of the underground for me. That absolute idiot. He really ran off? He's going to get himself killed. If he doesn't even trust us enough to say this to our faces, then he's no friend of mine. Valencia's gone, and Dylan's gone, which means the underground is without a king. Guess the crown's for the taking then. I'll be the queen of the underground, and I'll rule this place way better than Dylan ever could. Alon, I'm going to work towards getting the underground Coliseum up and running again. It's going to take time, but once it's up and running, come back and visit, okay? I'll show you what I can do with this place. In the meantime, take care, okay? And that's pretty much it for the quest. I guess we can walk on the table. To Alon, please take this. When the time comes, I may need your help. No one but us understands. Get stronger for her. Ooh, a Dino. Right, so back then, they changed it because you were able to get Dino a lot more early, and you had to get these certain items within, I think, the Dark Light Cave system. I think it's like 2 or 3 like items or something like that. And there was the shrine in Crystalline Town to get yourself a Dino, but of course they changed it that it is officially here. Now I will be re-rolling this to get the shiny version, so I won't really save here, so yeah. Well, that was a lot to go through. I don't really remember that last bit, but while I understand why he's really mad and furious, there's also a part of me, like, I go back and forth because, like, there are faults with V, there are faults with Dylan on their actions and the way they went about things. But V, at the very least, you know, was trying for a better future for their world and whatnot, and I guess for the children and whatnot. Dylan went down the wrong path, and in a sense is somewhat similar, made some mistakes, isn't really a good individual, but his heart is somewhat in the right place and is trying to be better, but he just holds a lot of just traumatic issues that I believe hinder him from, you know, fully being a good person. You can see good and bad in both of their characters. I think it's definitely extreme of Dylan to want to end V, because I go back to what I mentioned before. Desperate times calls for desperate measures. When one is desperate for whatever the reason may be, in V's case to save their timeline, then of course they're gonna do what they have to do in order to make it happen. And in Dylan's case, I get it. You took something that is precious from me. I lost my, you know, my girlfriend. I've lost my money, my power, my everything. You came before me, V, and you told me all these certain things and whatnot, and unfortunately, I might have messed up here and there, but I wanted to make things right for Anna. Yeah, I wanted to use them, but I did care for them, and you took that thing away from me. The one thing that I cared a lot about. I will get back at you. So both of them, of course, are, you know, valid for their reasons, but I really do hope that it doesn't come down to it that Dylan does something dumb. I'm sure he will attempt it, but I do hope in a later version that it does work out for everybody, because again, I don't think V is a bad individual. Yeah, they do bad things, sure, and I'm sure they've done multiple things around, you know, the underground and whatnot, but it seems like V's heart was in the right place, and ultimately they just wanted to, you know, save their world, their timeline and whatnot, and I get that. And vice versa, I get where Dylan is coming from, where he's like, I loved Anna a lot, she meant a lot to me as a really good friend, and all of us, you know, hanging out, having fun and whatnot. I'm after you. I'm full steam ahead towards you, so you better keep on moving, because I'm right here. So yeah, time will tell how it'll play out. It's a really, really amazing quest, and I really like how I was able to, like, you know, replay it again. Because, like, I feel like the last time I was confused on certain things, but I believe going through it again really gave me a good refresher on everything. There's still a few things that I'm slightly confused about, but that's okay, that's okay. Anyways, that'll be it for today's episode and side quest. The next few episodes, we will be getting into the movie side quest. That will be done in probably 3 to 4 parts, because it is an extremely lengthy side quest, and I would probably say it's the most lengthy side quest in the entire game of Pokemon Rejuvenation. So we'll get that done whenever I get it done, and after that, that's pretty much it for all the side quests and main stuff. Of course, I will be at some point farming prism shards for the one Necrozma event. It'll just take time because it costs 999 shards to get that. I want to redo the Space and Timbo battle, as I said before multiple times, because of the one bug thing. And then a theory video going over Madam X's identity, Team Zen, a mix of other things, and all that kind of good stuff. So, definitely still a little bit of ways away from completing this series, but we're definitely in the end game of this series here. I love you guys, take care of yourselves out there, and I will see you all in the next episode. Good morning.